If you're like me and you've been trying to piece together what is really going on in the show From, well, you are in for a treat. Today we're diving into an absolutely brilliant fan theory from a viewer named Aimee that might just blow the whole thing wide open. This is her reincarnation in the Lost Order theory.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The core idea here is, what if the town isn't just a place? What if it's a broken machine? Aimee's theory proposes that this isn't a prison. It's a soul recycling program that's gone horribly wrong. The town isn't just trapping people, it's actively recalling specific souls, generation after generation, to try and fix a terrible mistake from long ago.
And this is where it gets really cool. The theory says that the characters' deepest instincts, their obsessions, their fears, they might not even be their own. They could actually be echoes from past lives. To see what I mean, let's start with Tabitha, because this theory completely reframes her entire story.
Okay, so think about Tabitha. Right from the get-go, she's had this incredible, almost obsessive drive to protect the children. She's compelled to find a way out, and she's the one seeing those creepy ghost kids that nobody else can. Well, according to this theory, there's a very good reason for all of that.
Yeah, the theory is that she carries the soul of an original mother from the town's past, a mother who tried to stop a cult from sacrificing children. So her fierce protective instinct, her visions, her desperate search for the light, it's not just trauma from losing her own child, it's the echo of an ancient, unfinished mission.
Now, let's switch gears to Jade, the ultimate skeptic. This guy goes from a super cocky tech genius to someone completely obsessed with these bizarre symbols. Why? What causes that shift? Well, the theory suggests he's not just seeing symbols. He's unconsciously trying to remember them.
Get this. Aimee's theory says Jade is the reincarnated soul of the architect, the guy who literally designed the whole ritual in the first place and then had a crisis of conscience. So his skepticism, that's the ghost of his past guilt, and his obsession with the symbols, that's his soul desperately trying to remember the system he built so he can finally figure out how to destroy it.
So, okay, we've got these souls being recycled over and over. But then there's Victor. Victor is different. He's not an echo. He remembers everything. The faces, the different timelines, all of it. And this theory has a pretty chilling explanation for why he's the only one who never forgets.
Right, so here's the kicker. Victor isn't a recycled soul. He's an original. He's the one person who has lived through every single cycle without his memory being wiped. His consciousness was basically preserved to be the ritual's witness, forced to watch it fail time and time again. His memory aren't echoes, they're the original tragic recording of everything that's ever happened there.
All of this just leads to one massive question, doesn't it? How did this whole nightmare even begin? What was the original sin that broke this place so badly? The theory says the ritual itself wasn't built to be evil. No, it was corrupted.
See, it was never meant to be a prison. It was supposed to be more like a forge, a place to purify souls until they reach this perfect state of balance or harmony. But, as you can probably guess, some people with a really dark agenda got their hands on it and twisted it into the monster we see today.
And here it is. This is the ancient sin that broke the world. A cult became obsessed with the idea of cheating death. They tried to hijack the ritual to make themselves immortal by sacrificing children. But their arrogance just completely shattered the system, and in doing so, they unleashed the very monsters that hunt everyone in the town.
Okay, so that explains the past. But what about right now? The big question. How do they finally stop it? How do they break this horrible, endless cycle? The whole system is basically stuck in a cosmic feedback loop. The ritual was designed to balance three core virtues: knowledge, guilt, and mercy. But because the cult corrupted it, that balance was never achieved. So now the machine is just stuck on repeat, playing out the same tragedy over and over again.
And this really shows you the problem perfectly. There's a ton of knowledge, right? We see that with Jade and the symbols. There's also plenty of guilt to go around. So many characters are haunted by their past mistakes. But mercy? That's the one thing that's in dangerously short supply. And until those three things are brought into balance, the cycle is just going to keep on running.
And that leads us to the final and most exciting piece of Aimee's theory. To finally break this loop, someone, or maybe it has to be a group of people, needs to embody all three of those virtues at once. So the ultimate question is, who is it going to be? Who has the knowledge, the strength to face their own guilt, and the capacity for mercy that's needed to finally heal this broken world.